Hi, Michelle. Welcome to our session today. How are you feeling?
I'm okay. Um, I've just been really like in my head and like down this week. Um, I had some things like planned this weekend and I just have a feeling they're not gonna like plan out. So I'm kind of just upset today.
Yeah. Is that the only thing that's been bothering you this week, or has there been anything else that's kind of amalgamated to this point?
Um, well, yeah, I guess like I just feel like my plans are gonna fall through this weekend because I realized that this book club that I was in my like apartment building with some other
Mhm.
people, we like met for a few weeks and it was like really fun and I really enjoyed it. And I just figured like everyone was a little too busy recently to like get together and do it. So I was like, that's okay, like that's not a big deal. And then I realized this week that they're still meeting and I'm just not being invited to it. And it just makes me feel like nobody wants to be my friend. I feel like nobody wants me around and like I was really starting to enjoy myself and now I'm just like really sad. Like I just don't really know what to do at this point. Like I don't know how to make friends.
Okay, that is something that we can definitely explore in our session today. I know that that's kind of been a topic of a lot of our conversations in some of our previous sessions, is just that you don't want to feel sad or alone anymore. And just from that instance of what you just told me, that definitely would make me feel the same ways that you are. So I'm going to try and help you in the session today, work through those feelings and kind of shed some more of a positive light onto it and see if we can help you move forward. Does that sound like a good idea for today?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, awesome. So the strategy or like model that I'm looking to put in place in our session today to help you work through your feelings of not having any friends or being alone per se is called Socratic questioning. So we're going to basically move through some sets of questions that kind of are going to help us see what the problem is in a different light. Okay,
Okay. That's great.
awesome. So in the moment when you found out that your people in the apartment building were meeting without you for the book club, how did that make you feel specifically in that moment, not now?
It made me feel rejected. Like it made me feel like I'd done something wrong. Um, I was also shocked at the time. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that, they just really hated me so much that they just didn't want to invite me back. And I just felt really alone. I felt really alone and I went back to my apartment and I all I did was just sit around and think about how sad I was and how no one wants to be my friend.
For sure. Which feeling was stronger, the feeling of rejection or the feeling of being alone?
I think I think rejection was probably like my bigger feeling in that moment.
Okay. So now I kind of want to move towards what are some of the assumptions that you felt in that moment. So, with that being said, we can think what were the other people assuming in that moment, or what were you assuming in that moment that they were feeling towards you for not inviting you back to the book club?
I was feeling like I'd done something wrong. Like it was my fault that I wasn't being invited back. And I that was just like my strongest feeling is that I was, wondering in my head, like, what did I do to like make these people not like me as well?
Okay. That kind of piece of what did I do, that kind of falls into our reasons and evidence that we can kind of look back on to see why they possibly may have not invited you. So, is there anything that you could think about that was going on during that time that could have pushed them to not invite you, like the what did I do kind of scenario? Or if there's nothing, that's totally okay too.
Well, I mean, the week prior, I wasn't able to go because I had something come up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe they thought I was just busy.
Yeah.
But
See, that's an assumption, right? That's an assumption that they may have had, and they may have thought you might not have wanted to go, and then just
right,
assumed that you were done, right?
right.
So it's always good to look at like other perspectives, as well as your own perspective, because obviously that's the one that matters the most is what you see in yourself. Um, as well, why do you think you settled on the conclusion of what did I do wrong instead of trying to find out, like trying to look at it from their point of view?
I just feel like maybe I'm always the person who does something wrong. Like it's my fault. So um I feel like I have a hard time like keeping friends. I feel like people just don't like me. So I just always assume that it's my fault.
Okay. That's kind of a conclusion or a consequence of the thought. So we're moving very beautifully through these questions. So the I did something wrong. Can we kind of find some positives about yourself in this situation that we may be ignoring, such as like you didn't do anything wrong. You just
Right.
missed the class and then they just assumed or had this assumption that you possibly didn't want to go.
Right.
So yeah, there's no really way for you to answer that. Sorry. But another kind of question that we can look at is take yourself out of the situation and pretend you're looking at it from the outside. What
Okay.
advice would you give to a friend who would be in the same situation that we're looking at right now?
Um, I guess maybe I would tell them that they should just, maybe message their book club friends and say, hey, like, sorry I wasn't there last week. Like, can't wait for the next week. Maybe like to let them know that you're still interested in meeting for book club.
Yeah. See, look at those consequences that you just came up with on your own. That's awesome. So maybe we could try and implement that for yourself if you did want to move forward with this book club, or if you wanted to try another club and join them and this situation did arise again, you could use these like kind of coping skills to talk and reach out instead of just sort of secluding yourself and just coming to the conclusion of like, I did something wrong before even like using balanced thoughts to try and understand, right?
Yeah, that
Awesome.
makes sense.
Cool. Another thought that I had is I just want you to think about, go back to the beginning
Yeah,
and think about, is this a fact?
right.
Like them not inviting you back, is that like a fact? Or is
No,
that just like,
I guess it's not like a fact. I guess it's just like as you said, like an assumption that like I felt like I was being purposely like discluded,
mhm.
and I just like assumed that they didn't want me there.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So it's kind of just like using this form of thinking allows for us to be more meaningful in our reflections. We're
Right.
able to like take a look back and analyze every little bit of the situation and then put some meaning behind that. So it really helps with finding a focused answer among like a needle in a haystack kind of
Okay.
thing. All righty. And then how did that make you feel? Doing that kind of questioning and like looking at other points of views or perspectives around your kind of touchy situation.
Um, it's kind of like eye-opening. Like it makes sense, like what you're saying, and like um I do feel a little more like relieved after like this session and like looking at it on a different perspective. I think I just like get really in my head and I don't see it from other sides. Um, but when you ask like questions like that, like it really like helps me to like make me see um, more of like what the true answer could actually be and like not just what's like forming in my head, but what other people are thinking about me maybe isn't, as intently as I think that it is. And I guess I just didn't realize that like maybe I was kind of like looking at it the wrong way and like other people have, like the ways that they just assume that like I wasn't ready or I wasn't available this week and I'm just taking that really personal and I guess I just like seeing it now like makes me feel silly because I just realized that like maybe they're not just including me. So it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like a little more relieved. So
Okay, well, I don't want you to feel silly or feel like what you were feeling in the moment was wrong because it obviously is not. This is just kind of a way to kind of broaden your horizons and like understand where other people are coming from in a way, because a lot of the time we do get wrapped up in our own heads. And as you do live on your own and you don't see a lot of people, it is hard to like find that good connection with people. And then once they possibly turn their back on you, it does hurt a lot, and you're obviously going to seclude yourself and not want to like put yourself out there anymore. But I feel like you are ready, possibly ready to move on to like make some more friends, some new friends, even reach out in a way. We just want to really focus on your goal of not feeling so sad all the time, and I feel like putting yourself out there in social situations may really help in
Yeah.
this situation. How do you feel about that?
No, I think so too. I think the biggest problem with me feeling alone is that I just don't really, like, as you said, like I live alone, like I just don't really see enough people. And like, you can only make yourself happy when you're alone 24/7 by yourself. And I really, that is like one of my goals is like I really want to be able to have like a circle of friends, like people I can talk to and like trust and like, put my branches out there. And like I think that'll really help me like overcome the feeling of feeling sad all the time because I don't want to feel sad anymore. Like I want to be happy and like see what other people have like in their groups of friends. Like everyone else is happy and like I do want that too.
Oh, of course, for sure. That's all that any human wants, is that human interaction for sure. And I know that like you feel from even your childhood, your parents weren't very good at socializing you or taking you out and letting you meet new people. So I feel like at this stage in your life, we can really hone in on that like specific feeling of like that's stemming from your childhood, and we can try and find some ways to get you out there, like find some new activities you like to do, or make some friends at work, or even go sit at the coffee shop every Saturday, and then you meet some regulars, and then you find like a group of
Yeah.
friends. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that is something that we can definitely work towards to help you not feel so sad all the time, because I feel like this is a realistic goal that you have set for yourself, and we can make it kind of more of a reality.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely want to do all those things sound so nice. I mean, just getting out of the house, I think in general is like a good thing for me. And I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to feel like the positives like you're kind of putting out there of like things that I could do to like not feel so sad and like make friends. Like I think those are all really good suggestions.
Perfect. Yeah. And we can definitely like dive deeper into this in like some of our like further sessions along the way. It's kind of just like to plant the seed in your mind that like you can definitely do this. You got this. We can use this tool of Socratic questioning to be able to like broaden your horizons and make you wary of other people's perspectives, so you're not always putting yourself down just with your own like negative thoughts. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
like that.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, I'll see you in our next session, Michelle. Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Here's our debrief. Um, how did I do, Michelle?
Um, I think that what you really did well was you explained like the Socratic questioning well, that like I understood like what you were talking about, and like I as a client like started to see like what you meant by looking at a different perspective. And I think that asking the certain questions that you did like showed me as a client like what maybe I was missing. And I think you just delivered that really well. The way you delivered it was like really kind, and um like you were very focused on me and like making sure that I felt better. I think that your tone was great. Like you had really good body language. You were receptive and listening to me about um, like certain situations, like the book club, and you used specific examples of like something I said, and then showed me how you can use Socratic questioning to like turn that around, which completely changed my like level of thinking. So I think you did like really well. Like
Oh,
you're really good at it.
thank
And all your steps and like I said, really good at explaining. Like I completely understood everything you meant. So
thank you, Michelle. You're the best. Okay. Oh, I almost ended the meeting.